Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. For those of you who are, oh, bye. For those of you who are new, Stamping A to Z is a series I created to walk you through all the Stampin' Up! Products that are out there and how to use them, and to show you different ways, different techniques you can do with all that stuff. All of the episodes are on my Facebook page. I've also uploaded them onto YouTube. So if you've got friends that you think might like this, you can always send them to YouTube if they're not on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you've got friends you think would love this, share my videos with them. There should be a pop-up when you come on that says share. I would love it if you can share. I would love to grow my community and just have more fun while crafting. So hopefully these videos inspire you to get crafting and to enjoy yourself, or even if it's just kind of a stress relief in a stressful day. I kind of started that during COVID with that thought in mind. People were working at home, and I thought, oh, noon, midweek, what a great way to kind of forget about all the yuck and just enjoy some crafting. I know I find crafting extremely stress relieving and just calming for me, I guess. It's my happy place. So hopefully it's yours as well. So today we're going to be, it's episode 64, not that that really matters. We're looking at the Oceanfront, which is in our January to June mini catalog. It is just a simple stamp set. So you're like, oh, it's a stamp set, but it's a really versatile stamp set. And I love the ocean. I love Hawaii. I love water. Anything water I'm good with. So it jumped out at me and I wanted to get it, and I hadn't really played with it. And then I started playing with it, and it's lots of fun to play with. It's perfect for a beginner stamper all the way up to an avid stamper. So today I thought, I'm taking this stamp set and I'm going to show you a really simple, just stamped card. So if you just have the stamp set and some inks, all the way up to a more avid crafter, not too avid, but if you add some other products to it. So yeah, I do have some stuff to tell you, but I prefer to flip you around so I can show you the ads and stuff. Oh, before, I just wanted to remind you, Celebration, which is we're doing it twice a year now, but it's a great time, great bargain at this time, because you get to choose, if I can find my Celebration catalog here, you get to choose free stuff out of the catalog for every $60 you spend. So there's stamp sets, there's beautiful stamp sets, there's paper, there's all sorts of stuff that you can get for free right now. They also have a deal on, so if your order is over $375 or you host a party that's over $375, you can earn this stamp set for free, which I featured last week. And the other thing is if you join right now, so there's only a couple weeks left, if you join my team, it's only $135. You get $165 worth of product that you get to choose, any product that you would like. If you have no idea what you would like, you can always contact me and I can help you out, figure out what you need. And then you get an extra 2 stamp sets for free. Any 2 stamp sets in the catalogs that are in the mini or in the annual catalog, you can choose that you want. Those 2 are completely free for you. So it's a really good time to join. There's no commitment. You can join and then you can just let it go if you don't want to continue, but it's just a great way to get a bunch of free stuff for your $135. Or you can use it just for its discount, which you would get a 20% discount on your future orders, or you can turn it into business. So lots of options there, but I just thought I'd let you know because there's only 2 weeks left of Celebration. So I'm going to turn you around, that fun turnaround time here. Of course, I always try and not get my fingers in, and I managed to. go. I think that's probably good. Let's see if I can zoom in. It never lets me zoom in. Oh well. Okay, hopefully that's good. So before I get on to crafting, I just wanted to show you a few things. So I just want to remind you that All Together collection that it released February 1st. It's this set is actually going to be in the annual catalog. It's just an early release, but they also released these beautiful blends. They're natural tone blends, so they're great for coloring skin tones in all colors, which is nice. You're not stuck with just the, you know, your standard white, or what is it usually even? It's usually a pinky color. It's not even a skin color really ever, but yeah, so it's really nice that they have these. You can buy them in twos. They're not matching like our normal blends where there's a light and a dark. They're each their own color, so there's 10 different colors of those. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my, so I can see if there's comments. Please say hi if you're watching. I always love to see who's here. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay, so that's been released. It's available. If you can always go on my store and find it. And this is the host code for February. If you're under $200, if you're over $200, don't use the host code, and then you get the host benefits. There was a new kit added last week, which I showed, but I just want to remind you because it is super awesome kit. It's $34, so it's not overly expensive, and you can create such a cute little organizational magnet board. It would be perfect for a gift as well. So even if you just wanted the fun of making it and then giving it to a friend, or you could even give it to a friend to make, however you want. This is also actually the perfect way to host a party. You could get all your friends to order the board. I would create a host code for you, and then everybody would have one. So you could even have people who are far away from you, as long as they're in Canada, they can order through me and they can get their kit. And then you guys, we can do like a Zoom or a Facebook or whatever, and you can do your kits together and have fun. So that's still available so far. Fingers crossed, they've got lots. Sometimes they sell out super fast. I wanted to show you the new paper pumpkin, because February 10th was the last date for this month's paper pumpkin, which was a safari theme. So next month, for March, it is Beyond the Horizon. So it's actually supposed to coordinate with the Horizon suite, which we're actually using today to coordinate. So this is the Oceanfront that we're doing, and then the new Horizons suite is this one. So next month's paper pumpkin is going to coordinate with this, which is super exciting because it's one of my favorite suites. So there was also something I saw. Oh yes, so you don't want to miss this one. There are 2 stamp sets in this kit instead of just one. So it's a super big stamp set with lots of greetings. It's gonna be a super cool one. So if you haven't already subscribed, or you don't know how to subscribe, drop me a message and I can always help you out. You can also just go onto my store and sign in. I can't remember how straightforward the whole paper pumpkin thing is. So if you're having troubles, let me know. And just to let you know, paper pumpkin is actually going up in price starting in March. So we do have prepaid subscriptions. You can do, I think, a 3-month, a 6-month, a 12-month. It's usually in the catalog here. I don't know if it's here. I should have checked before I'll have to check that. But there's definitely 6, 12. I'm pretty sure there's 3, or you can do it monthly. So if you do a prepaid, even if you already have your subscription and it's still going, you can buy a prepaid 1-year subscription. It'll give you a code. You just wait to put that code in until your previous subscription has run out. So whether you're new or whether you already have a subscription, you can take advantage of the old pricing right now in February. And it also gives you the celebration stuff. So I think, don't quote me on this, I think a 12-month is around $300 because they're $30. No, it must be under because you get a discount by getting the 12-month subscription. So you would get all of that towards your celebration free rewards as well. Just when I want to, I can't find it. Okay. Anyways, if you have questions, let me know. Maybe I'll try and put a post up that shows you the pricing and stuff and the new pricing so you know whether it's worth waiting or buying it now. So that is all the chit chat I have for today. Let's get started on the fun stuff. Oh, hi Marcy. Slightly over, yeah, 300. That's what I thought. So it's a good thing you brought your subscription already because I did. I should have done it when they had the 10% off or free shipping or whatever it is. It's the best deal. But right now with the celebration, it's a pretty good deal too. So anyways, so the first thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to find all my stuff. This is the stamp set that we're using. It is a photopolymer stamp set, which means it's clear. I am going to be honest, I had a little bit of trouble stamping these at first. Now, they are distinctive stamps, which means they're not like a solid stamp. They're meant to kind of have some movement to them, and they're not like, it's not all dark or all light, like it's just kind of a nice, but I had bubbling, like especially on these bigger ones. Here, let me put a piece of paper so you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I had some bubbles behind. There's a bubble here right now. So best if you can get the bubbles out as much as possible because that helps. The other thing that I have learned over time, tip, okay, well so there's a couple tips. Foam pad, which is in the annual catalog, that helps when you have the photopolymer stamps because if you have the cling stamps, they have the foam behind them, so they have some give, so they usually stamp pretty well. The photopolymer ones are a little tougher to get a good solid, not that you want a solid on these, but you want all your ink to come down. So it just gives you that little bit of give, but not too much give that you're going to get like that edge. So you just want to be careful that you don't have ink all over the place when you're using a foam mat, but it does help get that more solid. Your other option is also to go to a stamparatus where you can stamp it multiple times and ensure that you get a good stamp the way you want it. So those are options. Now there's another little trick that some of you might know or might not know, especially when they're new. If you take some Versamark and you ink it up with Versamark first, it just kind of gives it that extra tackiness. Especially, I found there was just certain areas that seemed to not be picking up ink very well. So I did that. I mean, obviously I don't have to do it still. You don't have to do it every time. But the first kind of little bit, you want to try and do that just the first time. And it just seems to help the ink start grabbing. Maybe there's a little bit of residue from their whole process. And I don't know if you've ever watched, so if you go on and watch, oh my gosh, Sarah, who's our CEO? Sarah, her last name is escaping me. Anyways, so she's on Instagram and on Facebook. It's public, and she has done a few videos that show the processes in for making stamps, and she just did one, I think, on the photopolymer stamps, and it's pretty cool. Like, they show how they pour the resin and wash it off in the molds. And anyways, if you're ever interested in how your stamps are made, and maybe it gives you more background on if something's working well or not, you can go watch those. They're pretty cool. So let's get started. I've got a piece of basic white here, and actually, no, I'll just make sure I'm on. My paper scares me because I'm gonna fall off I'll do that so I know where the edge is. And then I'm gonna take, so to start with, I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down. It seems to work best the way things are angled. So I've got Daffodil Delight and Calypso Coral. So I'm gonna stamp this big one to start in Daffodil Delight. Now you can do it, so I don't know if you can see that. There's a space here that isn't inked up very well. For those of you who've watched me before, I prefer to have my bigger stamps upside down, and I ink it up upside down. And now you can see it's much better inked, if that's a word. And then I'm going to end up stamping it this way. So I want my Calypso Coral on the bottom. So I'm going to take my Calypso Coral, and I don't want a straight edge because you could just stamp across, but I don't want that edge because I want it to look more like a sunset. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to tap it along, but I don't want an even line across. So I just kind of want it more wishy-washy, like so. And then I'm gonna stamp it up here. Oh, I forgot to huff on it. You know, with all that talking, it can dry a little bit. And I don't know if you can see, there's definitely a spot here that, I don't know why, it's so strange how seems to be a bubble, probably because it's not even, maybe because it's a distinctive. So I'm gonna slowly pick it up. It all came down nicely, so that's okay. So again, if you're really picky and you don't like it, if there's like some white or something, you might want to use the Stamparatus so you can stamp it again. But even with it being a photopolymer clear, you can stamp over it again pretty easily without really, I mean, it's kind of an abstract shape anyway, so even if you're slightly off the second time, it's not that big of a deal. So that's our top piece. And then I've got another, not tip, but I guess technique. So even though we're doing a really simple, just stamped card, I'm going to show you a way to kind of make it that much cooler. I don't know. So this is the water portion, but if you look at the samples, it's, I mean, it's not solid, but it doesn't have the water waves look. So we're going to create waves by using the age-old kissing technique. I don't know if you guys have done this before. I can't even remember if I've shown this before, but it's a really old technique. It's been around forever. I remember some of our first catalogs, it had the kissing technique like in some of the pictures to show you how to do it. So anyways, so I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna use Coastal Cabana, so the lighter color. I'm gonna ink that up. So again, you can see where it's not a solid stamp. And then I'm gonna take this Gentle Waves is what it's called. It's in the mini catalog. And I'm gonna stamp my stamp to the stamp, and this is where they're kissing, I guess is kind of how it came about. Try and get that ink on there so you can kind of see you're getting that waves look, and then turn it back around, and then we will stamp it down. So now you not only have that the water look, but you've got some waves in there and a little bit of a two-tone look. It's subtle, but it's there. You can do it without the two colors. You could just put color on this one and then stamp on this clean one. and pull the ink off to get that same effect if you just kind of want it lighter or whatever the look is that you're going for. So that's always a fun technique that I'd kind of forgotten about. And yeah, with this waves one, because I had seen someone's who had the waves in there, and I was like, well, did she mask it and then stamp it on? And I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, oh yeah, you can stamp it onto the other one. So yeah, that was sometimes when you look at other people's samples, it kind of, well, I guess if you're a beginner, you're not going to know how they did it, but it just reminded me of what I could do with it. So anyways, that was a good reminder. So then I'm going to take this, this is Sahara sand, because I want sand. And of course the dogs are barking because someone just came home, and I'm still upstairs without a door. So hopefully it's not too crazy. So in my other one, I stamped it twice, but I think what I'm going to do to get kind of that, there's kind of like a sand one in the set. I'm just going to drop some sand down here. I mean, it might have been better to stamp it off, but that's okay. We'll just go with it now. There. So then that makes it more kind of rectangular. So here we've got a nice stamped background. You're kind of like, well, what do you do with that? So there's lots of options you can do with this. If you've got a die cutting machine or a punch or something, there's the palm, what's it called? Palm dies, I think. You could totally add a palm tree and like really dress it up. There's a beautiful sailboat right now punch, which is super, you could, I don't know, it might be a little bit big for this, but you could add a sailboat, but of course that's stepping it up, right? So if you're a beginner and you just have some inks and some stamps, let's just finish this with some more inks and stamps and make it a card. So this is another piece out of the same Oceanfront set. So it's got the grasses, it's got rocks, it pretty much has everything except a sentiment. It's the only thing it's kind of missing. So you'd need a sentiment, or you could always print one, I guess. And the other piece, a lot of stamp sets have birds. This one comes from the New Horizons as well. So that's why I said the New Horizons is kind of a great combo for this set, because it's got some really good sentiments, and then it's got the birds that tie in. So let me find, excuse me. I didn't love this. I actually debated when I saw the New Horizons suite on just buying the dies. Sorry. Because I kind of looked at this and I was like, oh, really? Like, this isn't much. And I have birds from other stamp sets, but you know what? It works so well with the trees. You can do trees along here. Obviously, you change your coloring up that this isn't water, but you can do like a sky and then green grass. You can do all sorts of stuff. And then I really like the sentiments though, and that's what kind of sold me. And I really didn't know what I was going to use this for. You will see, this is perfect for something that I will get to in one of the future cards. And then so for the sentiment, again, so I'm just going to take the relax and enjoy your day, which I forgot to mount. So let me find a block here. And again, just with some black. So here you think we've used the black, and we've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. I don't know, and I know I've spoken to this before, and I ordered it, and I just received it not too long ago. There is this pack of Stampin' Spots right now available. It's in the mini catalog. So here you have the Daffodil Delight. You could use Flirty Flamingo instead of the Calypso Coral. You've got Coastal Cabana for your water, and you could use Basic Gray. You might want to stamp it off for your, so, you know, if you don't have a lot of colors and you just want to get started, this would be a great kind of combo. And you could even use Basic Gray instead of black if you didn't even have a black. But I always recommend the first thing you want to buy is a black, because that you can kind of use with everything. And if you've got a stamp set that you just, is just outlines that you're going to color, that's a good one to have. So, but so isn't this, so then here's the card. All I did was added some Bermuda Bay and a basic white cardstock, and then you have this nice card. It's simple, but it's pretty. So that's your basic. I mean, I say it's basic. It's got some advanced techniques going on with it, but anyone could do it. You just have to know that you can do it. So my next one, I'm going to change up the colors a little bit. So let me just wipe off my stamps here. So make sure we start fresh and clean. You guys are quiet today. I don't see any comments. Hopefully they're coming through. I did get Marcy's before though, so I assume you're just being quiet. Now where did my sky go? Here we go. Did everyone have a good Valentine's? Get anything special? Do anything special? Something fun? A friend of mine was saying she was making cookies for her little girls and they were going to come home and decorate them, and they had a whole evening planned of like dance party and all that stuff, and I felt so bad, just like, yeah, I'm taking Gavin to gym and that's pretty much my day. But anyways, yeah, I was happy to take Gavin to gym because he's been actually wanting to quit. He's been doing, for those of you who know, he's been doing trampoline and tumbling since he was wee little, and he's been wanting to quit, and it was really sad. He's so good at it, and he just hasn't had this love for it. And so we were just kind of, he decided to finish out the year, and he had his first competition this past weekend, and oh my god, it lit a fire under him like I've never seen. So excited to go to gym. Even today he's like, okay, I gotta go stretch so I can go do some more whatever. And it's like, oh, it's so nice to see him back into things. So okay, so this one I'm gonna do, I guess it's not a sunset. I'm gonna go straight balmy blue for a sky. And so let's just do it this way. And the balmy blue, you can't, like, you probably can't really see it, that anything's changing. It's really hard for me to see it here. Like, it almost looks like there's nothing on my stamp. But see, now that I turn it over, you can kind of tell that there is something there. And you're gonna see in my finished card, it missed a bit of but it actually looks good. Like, it's not like a solid, oh, I missed that spot. So that's what's nice with these distinctive stamps, is they're pretty forgiving with that. So there's my sky, just a solid sky. And then I'm gonna do a lighter water with Pool Party. And I don't know why my Pool Party looks a little bit macaroni. I'm wondering if I like, I'm wondering if I used the wrong refill or something, because it's super juicy. And when I stamp it, to me, it looks mint macaron. But anyways, it works. So it's a water, just a difference. It looks like it still has a bit of the wave in there from before, so that's okay. And then I'm gonna use some Pear Pizzazz as my grass. So instead of having sand, so, and maybe it's not an ocean, it's more of a lake, I don't know. And actually I'm not gonna use this one. So the other thing is I'm going to wash this off here. Make sure my pool party is off. If you ever want to make sure your stamp is clean, just stamp it onto a scrap piece of paper. It's the best way to make sure of that. Okay, and then I'm just going to turn it the other way to fill in this part. So you can use all of these shapes that are in this set in all sorts of different ways. Like you could use this rock as more of an island and have your palm tree. You could, like sky's the limits with, your creativity is the only thing that's going to stop you. You can go and go and go. So then there's a smaller grass. Last time we stamped the bigger one. This time we're stamping the smaller one. And then, so this is where we're going to step it up a little. So there's dies that go with on the Horizon set. And these are the dies. It's called Horizon Dies. So there's hills, fencing, mountains. This cuts out that little wood funky piece that I said, I don't know what I would ever use this for. You could use it as planking, fencing, whatever. But the best thing is, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's the next card. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Okay, I did cut out some fencing though. Just plain white fencing. So this is just basic white. And it comes, so there's a bigger one and a smaller one. And then I cut out the mountains. This is what sold me on this set, was I really wanted the mountains. I'm a mountain gal. And so as soon as I saw this kind of detail, because we have mountains in another one of our sets. I'm trying to think what it's called. It's in the annual catalog, but it doesn't have this snow cap detail. And I loved it. So I had to have it. And the fencing is cool too. And there's a lot of it. Because then I thought like the little island piece could be used. So I did put an adhesive sheet on here before I cut it. And then I find you just want to line up one part, and then you can kind of take your tool to, it does bend easily though, because it's such a small detailed little piece. And then, so I didn't put adhesive on this. I'm just going to use glue. So I'm not going to go to the ends because I know I'm going to cut off pieces of it. I'm just going to put maybe we'll go to there. So for those of you who haven't seen, the New Horizons has this beautiful paper that kind of gives you pre-done backgrounds, and it's great. But I also find, so you could do kind of the same thing with the papers, but I know a lot of markets, they didn't get the papers. They were not back ordered, they just hadn't come. And I find some of it, maybe you don't like the colors, or maybe you want to change something up, or maybe you just want to make your own. So if you look at this is extremely similar to what we're doing with this Oceanfront. So, and I've actually seen people do watercolor to create their own papers, which you can totally do as well. But if you're not super into watercoloring, I like watercoloring, but I'm not great at it. So this gives me an easy way to get those nice backgrounds without having to get all that proper watercoloring in. So then I just glued these down and I cut off pieces to make it fit on this narrower piece that I created. And I'm just gonna pull this finished one. So again, I added my birds here. Well, I guess I stamped them off though. So I didn't use all the birds because it's a smaller area. So you can just stamp a smaller portion of the birds. And then you've got your mountains, your fencing, and then, oh my gosh, these little rocks are so fun. At first, when I saw them in the catalog, it's like, eh. This is part of that suite as well, the Horizon suite. So here they are. I think they might be low inventory or back ordered. I'd have to check, but they're super popular. I never thought that that would have been one that would run out, but like, look at that. Like, you can do so much with, but see, that's the paper again. So you could do something similar with using the Oceanfront stamps if you're super creative. So these are the pebbles that I used here. So I went more gray, and this is a totally one-off sized card. So I'll have to make an envelope to go with it, or else just give it without an envelope. But that's kind of my stepped up card for that one. And then the third one is just stepped up a little bit more. I didn't go crazy. Sometimes I go a little overboard with my stepping up, and then it's like, I was finishing up my club cards, cutting everything on the weekend. I brought it all to Calgary with me, and I said to myself, I was like, what the heck did I do? I created way too much cutting. Like, I was cutting forever. My neck was sore. Anyways, hopefully my club goers have fun with their cards when they get them, because they were a lot of work, but they look good, so that's all that matters. Okay, so I need balmy blue for this one, and I'm going to go back to my Coastal Cabana and the Bermuda Bay. I'm going to do the waves again, and then instead of Sahara sand, I'm going to use, where did it go? I was going to use gray granite. I don't know where it went now. Oh, here it is. Found it. Okay, and Night of Beauty are so you can see, like, oh, this is like my heaven. Blues and grays. If you know my house, blues and grays are where it's at. So, we've got our cardstock again, and I'm going to start with the sky once again, and I think I used balmy blue before, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, really, you guys are like super quiet, or my comments aren't working. Okay, so once again, I'll just start with our sky. The first time I did this, I started at the bottom with the angled piece, and it makes it very difficult to figure out how to line things up. So note to self, start at the top. See, that was funny. I don't know. Now I could stamp it again, but I don't mind it. The sky could be a cloud. I could actually add a cloud if I really wanted to camouflage that. We've got some super awesome cloud. Oh, you're making a card while watching. Okay, awesome, Marcy. At least I know it's working. Because I know the other night it was not. So that was pool party. So let's just clean that off. And we'll start with the Coastal Cabana. I've started doing that as well when I'm in the middle of watching stuff. I'll just be getting other cards done. I used to always like focus full attention, and don't have the time always to. But that's awesome that you're crafting while listening. Hopefully you can incorporate the kissing technique in something you're doing. It's funny how you learn techniques, but then you don't use them all the time. So, and there's so many. I actually have a whole, way back, this is probably like 10 years ago, I made a whole book on, and it lists each technique and the sample of it. And so I've gone back when I was first starting these lives, I did go back and look at them, and it's so much fun to kind of go back to those and play with them again. There's some really, I mean, some of them we don't have the same papers anymore to be able, like the glossy paper, although we did for a bit. And what else? Yeah, I did actually, I pulled in some oldies for this club. Oh, I should say, if, and I do have extra spaces in my club. So if we're getting, it goes till June, so it's not as big a commitment. If you're wanting to try it out, you can always let me know, and I can include you for not, so it's February. So for March, April, May, June. So we have 4 months that you could join for. So if you're wanting to try it out, or if you have a friend that you think might want to join, get them to contact me and we can get them started on this. So anyway, so that's, and then I'm gonna, oh, that's blue. I don't want blue. I want the gray granite for the sand. There we go. Okay, so we've got our beginning of the background. Then I'm going to take, instead of black, I'm using Night of Navy just to kind of keep it all the blues. Make sure they're clean. I'm going to add my birds. So the birds kind of distract you from the slightly off stamping. And then, so this is the other, this is where I was going with this wooden stamp set here. Where did my white piece of paper go? Here. So if you just take some basic white and you take your stamp set, and where did my gray granite go? Right here in front of my nose. Just, and you're just gonna, that wasn't a very good, but you can see now, where did my dies go? It fits perfectly, actually, for the smaller die. You can fit it perfectly, and it looks like, it gives it a wood look. And then for the bigger one, you need to stamp it twice, as you can see. And I've already run it through my Big Boss, so you don't have to shake and rock and roll while I do that. So you can see it gives you a nice, it just looks like kind of a white, a painted white fence that has a little bit of what is it called, distressed. Maybe the paint's peeling, it's been there for a while. Now the other tip with the fences is if you cut, like say you have your white fence, if you cut a darker, you could go black, you could go whatever, and you just kind of offset them, it makes it pop. It gives it that shadow. So it makes it pop and gives it that dimension instead of just a flat fence. So that's what I did on this one to pop it up. And then I forgot to take it out. Some Night of Navy twine. It's not twine, is it twine? I can't think of what this is called. And then, so that would be glued down, obviously. I didn't use adhesives. This one's actually wide enough. It's easy to get glue on there, so I tend not to use that. If you go 1, 2, 3. I have my ribbon scissors that I usually use because those aren't sharp. And then just tie it here. Now, if you like things to stay the way you have them, you can put a piece of tape at the back. Like say you want that. You can just take some tear and tape. Or you can, if you're popping it up with dimensionals, you could just put dimensionals to hold it down. But if you just want it to stay like that, you can just, oops, stick it down, and then it has less chance of moving. I'm not going to do a bow right now. I just cut my nails, and I think I cut them too short because they're a little sore. I think because when I open and close these, it digs. I'll let my nails grow for a day or so. So here's our fencing. I will show you the finished card. Oh, and then I stamped yet another sentiment that's from the New Horizon, on the horizon. Sorry, it's the New Horizon suite. Lots of perfect, you know, wishing you so much happiness is perfect for a birthday, even like any of them. And then the thanks. So that's just cut out and then popped up. And then we just have and then I added another piece of Night of Navy behind, again with the little pebbles. And then you've got a cute stepped up card. So those are my 3 cards for today. But isn't that a fun set? You can also, I don't know if you noticed in the catalog for the Oceanfront, they used it with this Seize the Day. So that's another one I want to play with. That's a fun one. But yeah, you can use the water in behind there. You can, if you want a fussy cut, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. But it's a really fun set. So if you overlook this set, think about it, because it's like I said, it's great for beginners, but you can also incorporate it into all your other stuff if you're a more avid crafter to create all sorts of fun stuff. So here, one more time, I'll go show you all 3. So this is the super simple, just stamped. This one adds some dies. And then this one adds the popped up sentiment, some twine, popped up fencing. So those are my cards for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed those. Hopefully it inspired you to make something fun. Marcy, I'd love to see what you made. So post it in the comments or in our group, our Facebook group, whatever you prefer. Anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And some of you I will see tomorrow for club. And I'm so excited for tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, so hopefully we'll see you guys, whoever's in club, we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you next Wednesday. All right, take care. Bye.